Hey guys, it's Amber with NotableInk.com and I am back with Altenew to share 10 ways to use their new washi tapes. We have Marbled Dream washi tape here, and this is a large size, so it's going to cover an entire A2 size panel. So I have an A2 size piece of Neenah Classic Crest here. I'm just laying it down on the washi tape. I'm going to cut it, and then this is the way I adhere a full piece to each one. I just like to fold it around the back. I feel like I get a crisp edge that way, and the washi tape stays down at the edges versus trimming the edge of the washi tape. I may just cut a little bulk off the corners. And here, our first technique, you can lay it down as a background panel, but what I decided to do was cut it into strips. So I'm using some strips here, and you want to make sure you keep them in order so that your pattern continues. Here I have the round art washi tape, and I'm adhering that to cardstock so that I can fussy cut out a few of these circles because I want to create a pattern with this. I started playing around with the arrangement and decided it would be cool if I weaved the strips in and out of the round art washi tape elements. So I'm just taking glue tape and adding that to the back of the strips and to the round art pieces, and I'm adhering that directly to an A2 size piece of Neenah Classic Crest Solar White. And I'm not really too terribly concerned about how much space is in between. I'm really just kind of eyeballing it and getting it fairly cohesive, but if there's a little bit of a different space in between, I'm not too worried about it. I'll turn the panel over and trim off any excess round art elements and then add a sentiment. I gold heat embossed a sentiment from Better Together stamp set, and I'll have all of the products listed below. Look how pretty the gold is on that marbled tape. So beautiful. Here I have the Marshland washi tape, and for our third technique, we're going to tear up these pieces and create a collage. So there is enough space in between these individual clusters that you can tear it pretty easily. And I'm just making sure that I tear the other areas so that I have rough edges all the way around. And what I'm going to do is layer up these areas. Now, washi tape is semi-transparent, so you'll be able to see the leaves behind the tape that you put on top, which is the look that I was going for. And as I was creating this, I was thinking about what kind of sentiment I was going to use. Ultimately, I ended up turning the card upside down, and I decided to go with the Simply Hang in There sentiment die. These leaves are a really nice gray, so I've cut it in pale gray cardstock and gray cardstock. Decided that the darker one looked better. I'm just going to stack these together with some Ranger Multi-Matte Medium, and I love it when the sentiment matches the design of the card. So you have the leaves hanging down, and then also it's in a whole bunch of pieces, like, you know, life's in a whole bunch of pieces right there, but you're telling your friend to hang in there. So I don't know if you guys do that or you get excited when it kind of happens by chance. That wasn't my original plan, but I like how it all came together. Here I'm just using my craft pick to get off some of the little hairs left over from the die cutting process, and there's the finished card. All I did was finish it off with a few Marshmallow confetti, and I love how it turned out. Moving on to the fourth technique, we're going to create some stripes with our washi tape. Now, these new washi tapes make making stripes super easy for your background. So this is the Sweet Dreams washi tape set, and it's all 4 colors of the Sweet Dreams set. So the 2 in the middle are pretty close together. They are different shades, but they're pretty close together in color. I'll just press the edge of the cardstock onto the mat so that I can fold the tape around the back. And here I have the Tea Party set. And you can see it comes in those 4 rolls. I've done the same thing with the Tea Party set, but this time I decided to cover it with the Painted Dots washi tape. So that's the black and white washi tape you see. Again, washi tape is semi-transparent, so you can see the Tea Party tapes through there, and I thought that that was a really cool look. I've also stenciled behind washi tape before, and that is super cool. I have 3 letters from the Caps Bold Alphabet die set here. I lined them up on my grid mat and then taped them with a piece of purple tape, and I've just cut out the word U. So I'm going to take out the center here. It was hard to get out because it's stuck, so I just used a spare piece of tape to pull that out. I'll go ahead and get this adhered down with some glue tape, and then I'll stamp on a sentiment. Now, ultimately, I didn't end up taking a picture of this card because I didn't like how far apart the letters Y-O-U were. And you can see that here. So I decided that I would get a twofer out of it and make a second card with our die cut letters here. And I kept this in here. I end up taking these letters back off, but I kept this in here so that you can see how you can line up and apply your letters pretty easily. And again, I didn't like how far apart the letters were, so I peeled it off and I put a piece of the Painted Dots washi tape over my A2 panel. Here I had a wrinkle in my washi tape, so I just wanted to show you how easy it is to peel it up and reapply it if you need to. I'm just trimming off the corners before I fold over my washi tape so that I don't have any bulk. And then I'm going to get these put closer together. Before adhering them, I die cut some sticky back black fun foam and backed the letters with that to pop them up. It also gives it a nice shadow to it. I cut a 1 1/4 inch strip from the Tea Party panel we had created, and then I have the Wild Flora stamp just stamped in black on white cardstock, and I've used the same die to cut a piece of the black sticky back fun foam, and I'm just going to adhere that. To me, not only is this going to give a nice shadow to the die cut and it's going to pop it up, it also has a much nicer finished look to it than just putting foam squares behind it. When the receiver of the card gets this, they're going to see that black all the way around, and it adds a really nice look, I think. So I've stamped a sentiment from the set and from the Wild Flora set, and I'm going to add the sub-sentiment here, and then I'll just get this glued down using those 2 leaves to frame the sentiment. Here you can see what that looks like from the side, and I think that coordinates really nicely with the Painted Dots washi tape and black sentiment as well. I'll just trim off the bottom of the Wild Flora die cut, and then I'll put a block on top of this to make sure that everything is adhered well. I added a couple sequins to embellish the card, and you can see how nicely the Tea Party washi tapes show through the Painted Dot washi tapes, and I just love how it turned out. We are back to the Sweet Dreams, and this is, I don't know, is this like our 5th or 6th technique? I've lost count here. I think there's actually more than 8 techniques that I'm sharing in here. This time we're going to use the Sweet Dreams washi tape as a sentiment strip. I also have the Morning Glory palette washi tape here, and I'm offsetting the rectangles so that it looks like a shower stall or like the wall in your shower. The tiles are kind of like the brick laid pattern. When I saw this washi tape, all I could think about was shower tiles and using my mom's Calgon in the 80s. Guys, I used to get in so much trouble for using all her Calgon. So I had to go and make me some, custom sentiments here. So I printed Take Me Away on some vellum just off of my computer. And then I have Calgon out of these simple alpha dies. And I'm going to go ahead and I stacked 3 layers of those together, glued them together, and I'll just get this adhered down. Super quick and easy card, you guys, but I was laughing to myself, and I totally get why my mom would be so mad at me for taking all of her Calgon. Now that I'm an adult and I have kids of my own, I get it. Sorry, Mom. But I did enjoy it. For the last card, we used 2 different tapes. We're going to start with the Gold Splatter Navy washi tape. I'm going to cover this whole panel, and then I'll use the rounded rectangle dies to cut out a panel from the center. That way I could create another card with this frame, but for now I'm just going to use the center. In the background, I also have the Golden Strokes washi tape, and I've used both of those elements to ground this image that I'm going to color. So that's another technique that we're going to use, is using it to ground your colored images or die cut images or any of those things. So I have the Summer Afternoon Altenew artist markers here, and I am coloring another image from the Wild Flora stamp set. This is the smaller image from that set. And I'm starting with the darkest marker and then moving my way up to the lightest marker. So same technique that I always use when coloring flowers is I'm going to put shadow at the base, shadow where the petals overlap each other and cast a shadow, and then also some shadow at the tips of the petals where there might be creases, folds, or where the artist has let us know that there are creases and folds. Sometimes I don't always add that to every single mark that they make, and sometimes I add it into places where they haven't given us an indication that there's a wrinkle. You just have to use your judgment. Sometimes if you put it in every single place that they do it, it might be a little overkill for that much color. So you just have to, like I said, you have to use your judgment. Here I have the Tropical Forest artist markers, and these are my faves. I actually, both of these sets blend really nicely. These greens are just pretty effortless to blend, and I just love them. So same thing, I'm starting off with the darkest marker, which is moss, and then moving my way all the way up to bamboo, which is the lightest color. And just using some small flicks, adding in my shadows first, usually for the leaves. Same thing, I do a line down the center usually, and then maybe a few flicks here and there of other areas where there's shadow. So I'm just blending that out. I'll use the coordinating dies to die cut this. Here I have the Golden Strokes washi tape, and I take the label from the packaging and put that inside the tape so that I can easily identify it later on. I'll pop up the navy panel and the flower on some foam tape. I'm going to add some gold confetti sequins, and then my sentiment is from Hello and Hugs, cut from gold foil cardstock, and I've also added an additional sentiment strip as well. Here are the finished cards, you guys, and let's run through the techniques one more time. Up on the top left, we created a collage by tearing pieces of the washi tape. Bottom left, we overlaid the Painted Dots washi tape on top of the Tea Party stripes of washi tape, and then we created a border with that. So that's a bunch of different techniques in there. On the middle left, we put the Marbled Dreams washi tape down as a background and then cut strips. We then fussy cut the round art washi tape, and then we weaved those strips in and out of the round washi tape. So a bunch of techniques there. For the middle right, we used the Golden Strokes washi tape and the Gold Splatter navy washi tape to ground our image. We used it as a stripe in the background and then a panel to ground the images. On the top right Calgon card, we used Sweet Dreams as our sentiment strip and created a background panel with the Morning Glory palette washi tape. And then the bottom right, we used Painted Dots as a complete background and then die cut some letters out of the Sweet Dreams washi tape. That's a whole lot of techniques, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video today, and we'll give some of these techniques a try. Be sure to subscribe and share this video if you haven't already, and ring that bell to be notified of new inspiration. Thanks so much, and I'll see you real soon.